Hello YouTube, my name is and this is my channel. As a quick intro to what we do here, I play games mostly, but I'm not calling this a gaming channel just yet in case there are other things I want to do. As you can see, this is already the coolest place on the internet, so please, pop a squad, stay a while. I promise you won't regret it. All that aside, today I'll be watching part 1 of mine and my friend LemonPunch's playthrough of Dishonored. Now, before we jump into it, I regret to inform you that the audio in this and the next couple parts of the series was tragically lost because my computer sucks ass, but I did my best with just the recording. It's also important to note that we couldn't hear anything while playing, also because my computer is ass, but I bring attention to us not hearing enemies a lot. Feel free to just pretend we're that stupid if you want, because in truth, we probably are. Anyways, without further ado, part 1 of the best Dishonored playthrough ever. Enjoy! We open the game on a serene boat ride. Our player character, Corvo Attano, has just returned from a mission of some sort. We look around, sit through some exposition, and ride what I attest to being the coolest elevator in video game history, before eventually being stopped by a child who wishes to play hide and seek with me. Apparently this is a tutorial to teach me how to stealth, but I only got a tutorial on how dumb this child is. I mean, I'm in the most obvious spot in the yard and she still can't find me. Anyways, we ascend the stairs to find a bald guy in evil military red getting a portrait painted. Turns out he's the High Overseer. I'm sure he and I will be best buds for the rest of the game. Apparently the painter makes elixirs. I don't know if that'll be important or not, but he seems pretty upset that I went looking for aid, so we'll see. We then proceed out to meet the Queen and mother of the child, whose name I just remembered was Emily, talking to another bald man, arguing seemingly for the extermination of 6 citizens, which feels like a red flag. The Queen, on the other hand, is very against the idea, so it feels safe to say she's not long for this world. The bald man's about as sinister as it gets. Sunken eyes, sharp cheekbones, a collar that damn near puts his face in eternal shadow. He's for sure a villain, but me and High Overseer What's-His-Face will surely triumph over this guy's inevitable betrayal. It take a minute to see the prompt and another minute to squeeze past the child, but eventually deliver a letter to the Queen. The letter says something about the plague and getting blockaded in, but I'm far more concerned about the Queen blatantly littering in front of her kid. Talk about a shitty role model. The Queen knows the guards get sent away at some point, but all too late, as after a short combat tutorial, the Queen is killed in cold blood, and Emily is teleported away, while I am forced to watch and subsequently take the fall. And can we take a moment to discuss how confusing it is that left click operates my right hand and right click operates my left? I mean, I'm already unused to playing with keyboard control, so I personally don't appreciate the added hurdle. In the Queen's dying breath, she asked me to find and protect Emily, and before I can flee the city forever, clearly Evil Deed from before comes back and blames me for the Queen's death. Good thing my best friend, the High Overseer, will back me up. Right? Right? Hey, what are you doing with that? And so I was locked away, and presumably tortured for the murder of the Empress, stricken by the betrayal of my very best friend, the High Overseer. I could barely even work up the willpower to resist, as I was fed stale bread, tortured by the very man I called my dearest friend, and stabbed with a red-hot spoke as the Spy Master and High Overseer exposited about how shitty my situation was.
That's enough for now. Get out. Let's give the man some time to think.
But everything changed, not when the fire initiate attacked, but instead when my lunch was delivered. The guard said it was from a friend, briefly filling me with hope that it was some sort of sign from the High Overseer. But instead, all I found was some bread and the key to my cell. Something that should be a welcome surprise, but I could tell the writing on the note wasn't the High Overseer's, so it seems our friendship, short as it was, is truly at an end. The note told me to escape, and that the friend who sent it needed me for something, and me, not wanting to look a gift horse in the mouth, obliged as my sadness turned to rage at the prospect of being able to kill the High Overseer for his betrayal. So with that, I proceed to stage the most high chaos escape ever. First, I'm immediately noticed by the guards in the next room, murdering them all but sustaining heavy injuries in the process. LemonPunch reminds me that crouching is an option, which doesn't help much given there aren't any stabbable guards in the vicinity, but it's good to know for later. What I do find though is, well, a bunch of stuff. Tins of whale and fish meat, some elixirs or this game's health potion, a couple guns, and some money, just lying about. Fortunately, all that food I inhaled had healing properties, something that could have been the difference between life and death, as I barely avoid being noticed by 2 guards who rushed right past me, presumably on their way to find me. Far be it from me to let this idiocy go unpunished. I followed them downstairs to teach them what for, but unfortunately I too am a dumbass and get spotted, so now it's time to fight. Fortunately, this guard's not very good at it, and I cleaved his skull open no problem, and the other disappeared into the ether, so he's no longer my problem. On my way out, I spot some more random shit lying about and help myself to it before continuing my escape. Or at least, I would have if I hadn't needed a key off of one of the guards, and unfortunately, it was the one I didn't already kill. Killing this one did not go as smoothly as the first, and I sustained some damage, but nothing downing another elixir wouldn't fix. Now that I can continue my escape for real, I make my way back to the locked door to find the yard walkway waiting for me. An altogether uninteresting area that led to the slightly more interesting interrogation room. The place where minutes earlier I was tortured and exposited at. Just the sight of it stokes the flames of my rage towards the High Overseer and that other evil dude. I'd like to take this moment to express how sorry I am that you missed LemonPunch's Oscar-winning performance reading the letter on the desk. It was truly the most moving performance I've ever witnessed. I made my way into the back room to get an explosive out of the safe. As luck would have it, it was the shittiest safe on the market, and I can open it by just turning the massive wheel on it. On my way to the control room hallway, my next objective, I stab one dude in the neck and smack the shit out of the other before killing him to ribbons after he's already dead in an unsuccessful attempt to remove his head. All in all, still the best combat encounter today, and I'm sure it's only up from here. I then move on to the next room where I tear apart 3 more guards, down a can or two of whale meat, and open the big door ahead of me. After a short fight with 2 guards, I finally make my way to the exit. All I have to do is plant the bomb, tank the explosion like a champ despite LemonPunch's efforts to get me to go into the dumpster, and leave the facility basking in the afternoon sun, before being overrun by like 7 guards coming out to chase me. We open take 2 at the door with the bomb on it as LemonPunch ignores his own dumpster advice and scurries into the sewer, ignoring all the guards I bravely attempted to fight like a pussy. But regardless of the cowardice of his strategy, we've got a game to play. Freed from our shackles and filled with newfound conviction, we escape into the sewer. What awaits us in the depths? Who is this mysterious friend? Will we be able to get revenge on High Overseer Campbell? Only time will tell, so make sure to come back in like 2 weeks or so for the next thrilling installment of the best Dishonored playthrough ever.